Hey everyone, welcome to the Guaranteed channel. This is Dominic Jackson, CEO of Guaranteed Financial Consulting. You can call me Coach D. Today, we're going to be looking at a real life case study. This is a current client that we are helping to walk through the credit restoration process. And trust me when I say process, it is a process. This is a real life case study. We're not going to show you all of the glamour and make it look pretty. No, the facts are it goes up, it goes down, sometimes stays down, but the process is the process. The process never changes. And for those who stick with the process, eventually, those are the ones who win. So let's go ahead and get into this case study right now. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our case study. So what we have here is a client. Now you can notice here we're on round 3. I'm going to change that here to what we call round 1. Okay. So I'm going to kind of take you through step by step. And what I mean by that is how we initially start and then what we do in each particular round. Okay. So before we get to round 1, this is just what our system calls it. And what you see here is our client dashboard. Due to privacy laws, I will not be showing information on a credit report. So just kind of giving you an overview, but so that you can see our system is 100% legit. You can kind of see here current scores. Okay. So nothing to hide there. You can see the report came on May. This was April was when the report was ran. You can see this is when we got to the actual first round. Why is that? Because before round 1, we do personal information. If you watched any of my videos, you know that personal information is of the utmost importance. Why? Again, because personal information is what is tied to your accounts, not your credit, your social security number. Okay. Did you know you can get someone's credit information without their social security number? Your social security number is not what is tied to these accounts. Information is personal information, name, addresses, dates of birth. This information is what is tied to accounts. So that's why we put major focus on getting things updated and corrected, because a lot of times these accounts are tied to outdated, unverifiable misinformation. Remember, the FCRA states that if it is outdated, it should not be on your credit report. If an address that you no longer live at is still on your credit report, that means it is outdated. Why is it important to remove it? Because in a day and age where identity theft is still the #1 crime every single year in America, you could easily become victim to identity theft by not getting it removed. They could use an old address that you no longer live at and you wouldn't even know. So this is why it's extremely important. And that is your argument when you go to the credit reporting agencies to correct it. Okay. So that's what we did before we ever started round 1. That's why you've seen 4/19 and now it's May 3rd. We've gotten everything updated and corrected. Boom, we went into round 1. Now, in round 1 specifically, what did we do? What we did is we went in and we put the burden of proof on the credit reporting agencies. Dominic, what do you mean by burden of proof? What I mean is we didn't say that these are not our accounts. I did not pay this late. This never happened. Whatever it is, we didn't make a statement. When you make a statement like that, you better have the proof to back it up, because you have now put the burden on yourself. But in this particular case, we said, hey, did you adhere to the FCRA when you put this information on our client's credit report? So we've kept the burden of proof on them, because remember, there are over 300 plus criteria that they must adhere to in order to put something on our credit report. Did they follow it? Did they do their due diligence before they put the information on our client's credit report. That's what we did. That's what the information we sent out. And let's see what happened in round 2. So we'll go to round 2 here, and boom. TransUnion 81 points. Experian 41. In Equifax, you can see we got hit with -11. Okay. So these are current scores as of June 27th. Okay. So you can see in round 1 did phenomenal. Okay. Now, sometimes you have to be careful. What I mean by that is oftentimes you will see these companies that put major point increases and look what we did in 30 days, 60 days, and a lot of times what happens in that first one, you see these 100+ point increase, and we get it often, right? And yeah, we could boast about the 81 point increase. That is phenomenal. Happy for the client. However, was it deleted or updated, or was it just suppressed? Dominic, what do you mean? Well, what I mean is when you dispute something, oftentimes the credit reporting agency will just suppress the information so that it doesn't show, it doesn't get calculated into your score. Your scores jump like crazy, but then they verify it, the information changes, and your scores plummet because it just goes right back on your credit report. But here, these companies that offer you these 30 days, get it done in 30 days, 60 days. Oh, look at us, we're amazing. It was false, because a few months later, it gets put right back on your report. And this is why we have the laws around the CROA that we have, because this is what happens to clients. This is why the CFPB is so adamant against coming against credit reporting or credit repair companies, because that's what happens to clients. They make it look like it got deleted, but it was just suppressed, and all of a sudden it comes back and you paid all this money. Well, let's go into round 3, because now what we did in this particular round 2 is we now have gotten back responses. In that response, this is the most important thing, okay? In the response back from the credit reporting agencies, because remember, by law, they have to send you that information. In that response, what you want to make sure is that if it was suppressed, you won't see anything on there. If it was deleted or updated, you will see that it was removed, that it was deleted, that it has been corrected or updated. If you didn't get anything, it was more than likely just suppressed. So if you're working with another company, that's the information you want to look for. If you're working with us, make sure you get us the information back so that we know. If you don't get it back to us, there's no way for us to tell. We're just looking at a credit report and what's currently on it. Okay. So now that we're in round 2, we've actually addressed everything based on the credit reporting agency's response. So now we're saying, how did they verify it? If it was deleted, wonderful. We're not going to mess with it. Okay. But if it was verified, how was it verified? Especially if there's still errors. If there's still errors after and they said they're verified and I have proof that there's errors, now we got an issue. Now your rights have been violated. Now you may have a lawsuit on your hands that you can take them to court and win major settlements, especially if it has negatively impacted you. And if we can prove that, you have a lawsuit and potential for money. Okay. So that's important to know. But let's see what happened now that we just did round 3, and voila, this is beautiful. Why is this beautiful? Because now we know in round 3 that they weren't just suppressed. They were actually removed from the credit report. Why? Because they didn't adhere to the laws that they were supposed to adhere to. And this proves it. We got increases, and we're starting to see that Equifax come up as well. So this is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And in round 3, now we're going in and addressing, and if we have to, we will begin in round 4, addressing the CFPB. I'm going into the FTC. If we need to, we'll go to the state attorney general. All these things, especially if we have any collections, addressing collections with them directly as well. And so in this particular case study, you can see it was a beautiful thing. These were not just suppressions, these were actual deletions. And we are extremely happy for the client and seeing her get to her goal of being able to get into a home. And this is just beautiful. This is what we like to see. It's what we address. And so we are coming to the finish line. Love seeing these scores in the 700s. And we're going to continue to knock out the Equifax there as well. Now, if you found this information of value, please do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell and click all so that you can continue to get this content. We will always bring you great content, true content, guaranteed content that you know you're getting the truth and you know you're getting valuable content. If there's anything you want to see, make sure you let us know so that we can continue to bring you the things that are important to you. Okay? We want to keep consumers aware of laws and the things they can do to protect themselves. As always, let's get it.